Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the CheckX series. CheckX, if you guys are new here, as I say every day, is where I track Elon on X, seeing what he's posting every day. And today we're going to talk about what Elon posted yesterday on the 3rd of December, I believe. Yesterday, Elon posted about 30 times, or maybe a little over 30 times. I believe also a little over 15 of those posts and replies and tweets are about, I believe, about politics. A lot of the stuff that he usually posts about politics. We got a couple things on Tesla, a couple things on SpaceX, a couple things on Grok and OpenAI. I think some competitive markets there, mentioning some more stats on that, which we're going to see shortly in the episode. This is episode 7. If you guys haven't seen the previous episodes and this is your first time here, or if you just haven't, if you missed those episodes, gladly, I recommend you guys go back and watch those just as a sequence of events. But we're pretty much going to get right into this. First off, we're going to talk about Tesla, FSD, and robotics, so, Optimus and things like that. First off, based on Tesla Optimus progress, Elon quoted a comparison of Tesla Optimus progress over 2.5 years, quoting, I think it was May 2023 to now, where it was walking slowly to the robot running swiftly, and he responded speed to that, which is funny. And you could also see in the video how the robot has become much more simplified, much more closed up, more complete, less wiring visible, less mechanics, looks more of like an outer shell. You can really see it starting to form, which is nice to see. Yeah, it's really cool. And again, I'm giving you guys a quick little disclaimer. Pure unedited footage here, so obviously I'm not cutting any important details out of the videos, things like that. I'm gonna try to keep that basis. Just pure uncut videos, which is, I apologize if I stutter, things like that. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Next up with full self-driving, or FSD, in Rome, Elon commented cool after Tesla hosted the mayor of Rome and mobility accessor Eugenio Patin, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, correct me in the comments if so, for an on-road demonstration of the full self-driving system. In typical Roman traffic, urban traffic, complexities, and data published by Tesla suggest FSD can reduce the risk of serious collisions by up to 7 times compared to traditional driving, which we've been knowing that for a very long time. Excuse me. And also, in terms of full FSD computer development, we have how Elon reposted Jensen Huang's, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Jensen Huang's story about helping him build the first computer for the Model 3 and Model S, and the first FSD computer version 1, which is cool to see. Little, meetup, that stuff. And that pretty much wraps up Tesla. Again, he only really didn't post much about Tesla. I think it was only like 1 to 3 posts, actually. It was, I think, 3, maybe 2, just simplified. But now we're going to move on to Grok, XAI, and also some comments about OpenAI, which I think is obviously, like I talked about in the beginning of the episode, some competitive markets there. First off, Grok performance and benchmarks. Elon talked about and noted not bad and progress, as Grok 4.1 Fast claimed top spots across benchmarks and ranked number 1 in the productivity category across Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Spain. So a lot of the Nordic regions and Spain, Denmark, things like that, which is really nice to see all across different countries in Europe. He also affirmed the dominance of Grok Code Fast in Grok Code Fast 1, in code performance arenas, which, by the way, if you guys don't know what that is, we talked about that a little bit last episode. It is basically Grok, but it can code like HTML, I'm pretty sure JavaScript. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty much assuming what that was, and we did talk about that last episode. If you guys missed that, you guys can go back and watch that. Anyway, random plug, sorry. Anyway, moving on. Grok versus competitors. Elon remarked interesting and replied interesting when a user canceled their Chat GPT subscription to use Gemini and Grok. He stated that they think Grok 4.1 beats Cloud in writing, which is good to see how, because XAI, ChatGPT has been pretty much the leader of the benchmarks and things like that, and Grok just stole the show, and that's pretty great to see, honestly, because they're also maintaining that unbiased stuff. Really good to see. Excuse me. Moving on, talking about OpenAI history and status, Elon reposted the story of Jensen Huang delivering the first DGX-1 supercomputer to him in 2016 for the nascent organization that became OpenAI, which was initially intended as a non-profit. He also reposted content noting that OpenAI is not non-profit anymore. Wow. Anyway, next up, talking about based on ChatGPT quality and bias, which is what I just talked about a few minutes ago. He reposted reports that Sam Altman declared a code red to improve quality of ChatGPT, to improve the quality of ChatGPT, excuse me. He also reposted commentary criticizing ChatGPT for being politically correct, safe, sycophantic, excuse me, and exhibiting a clear left-leaning bias, calling these values issues, which is, you usually don't want an AI to be biased. It's not really a good thing. It's not healthy for that. But anyway, last step on the AI segment, we have how talking about AI imagery. Elon replied beautiful, and reposted an image generated with Grok Imagine, showing a Cybertruck police vehicle driving through Las Vegas, which is pretty cool to see. And that pretty much wraps that up. A small little plug segment here. We got SpaceX. Couple things, and also just like the universe in general. He did post one thing, which we're going to talk about in about a couple seconds. We're going to blast through these here just to move on, and obviously the last segment you already know, and if you've watched before. Anyway, starting off with Starship, Elon reposted photos of Starship, noting that the future is bound to be amazing, which is great to see. And also, in terms of consciousness and questions, Elon reposted that humanity still doesn't know how to ask the right questions, suggesting by expanding consciousness, we can better understand what to ask about the universe. That pretty much wraps that up. Like I said, just two things there, quick little things. And I think this might be the last segment. There might be a little segment. Excuse me. Again, this is uncut, so you're gonna see all this. S word. Obviously politics, ideology, and cultural issues. Obviously probably more about just weird ideologies, some corrupt stuff. Starting off, San Francisco ideology and information control. Elon quoted, Elon quoted and agreed with the assessment that San Francisco is the woke Kool-Aid aquarium, where a 20-mile extremist bubble hijacked powerful information weapons like the old Twitter to beam far-left ideology globally, resulting in centrists looking like the NZIS. I removed the A in between N and Z, because I do not think I can say that word here. So yeah, but you get the point. It starts with an N, AZIS. Moving on, in terms of gender identity and things like that, Elon reposted a clip suggesting that the drop-off of kids identifying as trans directly coincides with him buying Twitter, and he noted that old Twitter used to ban people for dead naming, and I'm not 100% sure what that means. But moving on, we got Elon also posted about Snap fraud, and which stands for SNAP, and state complicity. Elon quoted a discussion about massive fraud in the food stamp program, SNAP, asserting that this is happening aided by the state's government themselves. This discussion noted that 21 blue states, including California, New York, and Minnesota, which is Minnesota has been a little bit of a talk in terms of politics, if you guys know what I mean, if you guys have been keeping track of that, in most recent days. Those states refused to turn over data to root out fraud, resulting in the federal government stopping the funds to those states until they comply. Which is pretty interesting to see. Hold on, sip of tea. All right, let's keep going. So, more about immigration. Elon reposted the claim that Ilhan Omar was not elected by Americans, but by Somali voters, which I'm not 100% sure who that is, but by Somali voters imported to Minnesota. Elon stated that the far left imported voters to gain power, and it worked. Also, moving on, talking about Canadian genocide claims, he reposted a documentary, exposing the claims of mass graves of murdered Indigenous children in Canada, which led to the burning of over, I quote, 100 Christian churches and a new national holiday and billions in reconciliation funds. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing that word wrong. As a lie and the biggest fraud in Canadian history. Moving on, we have talking about demographics and more things about race. Elon reposted content concerning America's shifting demographics. He reposted a statement that is not racist, to want stable demographics, or to oppose white people becoming a minority in every country they live in. Also, more things about the H-1B program. He stated false and replied false to the claim that he is an Infinity H-1B guy and affirmed that the H-1B program needs to be reformed. He talked about more racial and political bias. Elon noted findings that Caucasian middle school students experience more bullying than African American students generally, and he replied, "Wow," to finding that white liberals are the only group on earth with an explicit anti-in-group bias. Never thought I'd be reading those words, I'm gonna be honest. Last but not least here, Elon also reposted content lamenting the removal of the Thomas Jefferson statue from the New York City Hall, which is interesting. And that pretty much wraps up that. Now we're going to move on to more stuff about crime, justice, and cultural compatibility, which we're pretty much staying on the topic of political. This is more of like a sub-segment. Just a little short couple things here, about 4 or 5 things. First off, in terms of judicial accountability, in cases where judges allow killers to walk free after many prior arrests, Elon stated judges who allowed this should be removed, and he replied also 100% to another post relating to that. Second, couple points here on this one about immigrant crime. He posted a story about a Somali immigrant who kidnapped and raped YouTube. I'm not saying the actual word. A 12-year-old girl in Minnesota and received the minimum sentence. That's rough. Not like that genuinely is. Wow. Also, Elon noted the controversy of migrants, Mosaic excusing the child grape as a challenge of adjusting to a new culture, He asked, what does that imply for Somali culture? Also, last little comment on this, Elon also added that it is beyond enough after reposting a story of a 9-year-old Swedish girl who was brutally raped and strangled by an African immigrant. He questioned how one cannot be radicalized when police protect the immigrant, and asked how many kids must be raped before realizing some cultures are not compatible with civilization. Whew. Anyway, last couple things here before we wrap up the episode. We got about public order. Elon agreed that the social contract is gone, and if the state will not use its monopoly on violence to protect the public from violent criminals, stating that the public order is the bare minimum for government legitimacy. Also, talking about more crime data, he reposted data showing that the foreign national sex crime arrests in England and Wales were led by Sudan, Afghanistan, and Iran. He also agreed that the sentencing remarks the Rotherham grooming gangs case read like wartime atrocities, And last but not least, a little bit about migration incentives. He reposted content claiming that organizations... Oh, and my thing actually got cut off here, so sorry about that. But that pretty much wraps up that episode. Quite some rough ones we ended off with. That was, not... Especially that Minnesota one and the whole Netherlands thing. It's really not a good site. It's not something I would like to read, but it is the truth, and I don't want to hide that. Again, this is uncut footage. What you are watching on YouTube right now is completely uncut footage. This is episode 7 of the CheckX series. 7 days. We made it past 1 week in a row. I'm going to see how long I can keep this chain going, other than holidays, obviously. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Drop a comment if you guys like. Thank you for the support, obviously. And I'll see you guys in episode 8. See ya.